Hey everybody, welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name's Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave and Chris. Jose is out at sea, so he will not be joining us tonight, but Inter Miami have just concluded a 5-1 victory over the Columbus Crew. A pretty shocking result because Columbus is a good team. And Inter Miami has had their struggles against those this season. So really fun to see. A lot of things to talk about tonight. And it's going to be a good mood post-game show for once. It's been outside of Montreal, which I feel like we had to temper the excitement. This one I feel like is definitely worth celebrating. But before we begin, if you're watching live on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you're enjoying the show, it helps us out a lot. Shout out to our chief Heron Heads, Chow and Mari V. Thank you for your continued generous support. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that we are powered by 786 Sports. So yeah, what an evening. How are you guys feeling?
Fantastic. Go. I'll let you celebrate.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, we were able to win last Wednesday, a couple days ago against Montreal, but again, it was a tempered celebration because you feel like that's a team that you have to put away. But then when you turn around and you just spank a quality team like Columbus like this, and you have no alternative but to feel really good about yourself. The way we played from start to finish is exactly what you want to see. The last goal, I understand it's the fifth goal that you score and it's a 5-1 game. You feel like it's a throwaway goal. I hope that that's something that opens Mascherano's eyes and it's a precursor to what we can do. It's a through ball by Messi, perfectly placed through ball. It's an aspect of Messi's game that really you don't see it because nobody can really take advantage of that. So hopefully Mascherano can see what Fafa could do, Obando can do, and implement them in ways that can really utilize more facets of Messi's game. But 5-1, no complaints, fantastic game.
Yeah, it's been a while that we've been able to actually celebrate like this because it's been a rough one. It's been a rough one. All of the fans have been here with us, and finally we get a quality win. We've been waiting for it. We've been asking what's going on with this team, what's wrong with them. Allende was not doing good after the hot start, and today he blew up. Messi had a spectacular match today. 2 goals, 2 assists, and Suarez got his too. But it was great, man, all around. You know, I think Julio posted on X that he was scared about this back line when they announced the starting lineup, and hey, they held them to just 1 goal. It was impressive to be honest. You know, it was an all around great defensive performance, but the back line held their own from a lot of I guess we could say misfits or just players that shouldn't really be in those positions. But it was great, man. It was great win.
A ragtag team of misfits.
Yeah.
The lineup came out and you see that it's Chelo, Falcon, Martinez, and Allen. We knew Allen was going to have to slot over to left back, so we knew that there was going to have to be some tinkering with the center backs. But yeah, I got a little nervous. I'm not ashamed to admit it. That was worrisome. And then we came out and we looked. That was as good a start to the match as I've seen in quite a while. Like we were up for it today. And it's funny because they showed the like momentum map and it actually had Columbus like winning or having more momentum at the early stages of the match. I felt like we generated a lot of really high danger opportunities early on. We just weren't putting them away.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like we were under any duress for the majority of this match. And I will give credit where credit is due. The backline, yes, they played well enough, but I really didn't feel like the backline was tested much in this match. We kind of controlled the pace of play, kept the possessions either at midfield or on our side of the attack. So because of that, I think that really took a lot of pressure off from that backline. We didn't have them really be exposed at any point.
Yeah, it's true. They didn't really have many dangerous opportunities. The 1 goal that was scored on them, Unfortunately, it's the bane of our existence. Corners, set pieces, we've seen it all year long. We've seen it for years, honestly. And it just continues to bite us in the butts. Falcon, it was on Falcon. We've seen at least 2 other goals already scored this season on him from a header like that. So it's a shame to see that because I think Falcon's a very solid defender. But yeah, it's true, David. It wasn't they weren't really tested today. I don't think they were, but I think that's why it was such a quality team win. You know, the midfield was strong. Ben, I thought, had a very, very good game. You know, we always want more from him, but we saw his high motor in the midfield position. He wasn't playing out of position today. We saw that high motor. You know, he was pestering the attackers, and we saw Segovia playing that midfield position that we haven't really seen often or at all. Honestly, he was paired with Busquets, so it was nice to see that as well, not being out of position. He's definitely more of a midfielder than a winger. So I think all of that together kind of solidified that midfield and didn't really allow our backline to get tested too much or to even risk getting out of position. I thought Allen had a very nice game today too at left back, which, you know, it's kind of scary to see him out there sometimes. But hey, all around, very, very good match.
Yeah, I mean, man, like it all came together kind of, and it's been a while since we've seen the attack click in such a way. And we can get into this a little bit later, but I thought it was interesting because I was thinking it as the commentators said it, but it's a little bit like we match up well against Columbus because they don't sit back and they get out and actually go at us. Mm-hmm. Which then I was like, this is kind of interesting heading into the Club World Cup because those teams are certainly not going to sit back. So, you know, I'm not necessarily saying we're gonna win the damn thing, but I feel better heading in, obviously, having just won 5-1, especially thinking of, hey, these teams are probably not going to sit back. They're probably going to play a more open game against us. And maybe we can make a little bit of noise in that competition. So I thought that was interesting because a lot of teams do sit back against us and just try to counter us. And we are very bad against countering teams, but Columbus tried to play our game against us and we did it way, way, way more efficiently. We missed a few chances early, but after that, we were hitting everything.
It's really surprising to see Mascherano out managing Wilfred Nancy, who I consider to be the best manager in MLS right now. So this result is shocking to me. There's no way around it. I'm shocked.
Yeah, and I will say right now, we were wrong. I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna get blown out. I think I predicted a 3-1 loss, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Let's hope. Look, the good thing right now is that this is a good time to build that momentum. We tied against Philadelphia, the best team in the MLS. We blew out Montreal, and now we blew out Columbus. Heading into the Club World Cup, yes, we're not expected to do much. I get it. But what better way to build the momentum than you know, beat the snot out of a very, very good team and just have some solid results getting up to there. So solid results. Momentum is up, and we'll see. We have 2 weeks breaks. Let's see what we need to get healed up before the Club World Cup. There's too many injuries right now on defense overall, and we'll see. Hopefully, we could use these 2 weeks to our advantage.
The truth is,
and Ustadi.
Yeah, the truth is we sacrificed Jose in order to get this win. I mean, there had to be blood.
We sent him out to the high seas.
Yeah, so let's get into these goals because there's a lot. So it might just take up the whole show is going over them. The first one, Allende. Has he scored in 2 out of the last 3 or 2 straight matches? I feel like he's been
for sure
way more active.
2, no?
He scored last match. Last match he didn't score. No? I think last match it was Messi brace and Luis Suarez goal. But he scored the match before that, if I'm not mistaken.
So he didn't score against Montreal. He scored against Philadelphia. Didn't score against Orlando. Scored 2 against San Jose. So by that math, he will not score against Al Ali, but maybe against Porto or Palmeiras. But Allende's been picking up a little bit of steam. We had been saying that his form had dipped, but I mean, over the last 5 matches, he has 4 goals. That's pretty good, Bob.
Yeah, and that's the guy that we need to. We saw it in the beginning of the season. We need him to take that next step. He is our true target man, our true attacker up front. Suarez, we know can't get it done. He could do it if we're all settled in the box and trying to make a few passes here and there, like the way he scored tonight. But if we want to attack, if we want to press up and really threaten, Allende is our guy to do it. And we saw it today multiple times today. He got the 1 goal, but we saw it other times that he actually kind of screwed up the opportunities. But he's making the runs, he's making the plays, and he's getting the job done up front. That's what we need, and we saw it. Hopefully he keeps it up.
I'm happy that he was able to get at the end of a goal there because, like you said, he did screw up a couple of times. The first few chances we had were really either Allende made a really bad touch or a bad decision that led to nothing happening. And I was already starting to be like, oh boy, here we go. Another bonehead Allende performance, because that's happened to us where he's just left you wanting a lot more with his capabilities. But no, he was able to score a fantastic goal. And that really did change, I think, the outlook of the whole game for him. Because sometimes these guys just need that confidence boost. So seeing that ball hit the back of the net, I think not only provided him a little assurance, but the whole team, like, hey, if we can get this guy rolling, everything else should also fall into place, because you know what you're going to get from Messi. So sometimes you just need something else to work as well, and things can really fall into place.
So I want to make sure I'm not getting my goals mixed up, because again, there was just so many. Allende received the ball from over the top, correct?
Yes.
Like he went in behind. And that's why I pulled up this comment from Henry, is that everyone was alert and played brilliantly. Like everyone really was alert and making runs and being willing to make runs. And I feel like that's an element that's been missing a lot from Inter Miami's attack. So seeing we tried that multiple times. I think twice or 3 times it worked, because when you think of Messi's Scary Larry, which we'll get to later, and then the final goal alongside Allende's, those were 3 long passes in behind the defense that we were able to run up into. And we've talked about this, like we need to continue to find different ways to attack, because it keeps the defense honest, that they can't key in on one type of play. There's just too many things going on, and that's when we're obviously at our most dangerous.
It opens up the attack, because the slow buildup, it's kind of impossible to consistently get that going. The slow buildup and doing the little passes to get you open. Everybody's kind of counting on that. So when you do have these counter like strikes, it just gives you so much more room to work with. And we had 3 goals on that. There were also countless times in this match, I think 3 or 4 other times, that we had really good runs that either Allende screwed up, Suarez screwed up, and even on Suarez, was it Suarez's goal that Cello almost screwed that thing up too? It's amazing that we could have scored, and maybe should have scored even more than 5 goals, which is crazy, because this is a really good Columbus team. So being able to be that prolific in the attack is just awesome to see.
Yeah, we'll get to that goal in a little bit, but that was very upsetting.
Couldn't be that upsetting if it ended in a goal.
So before we get into the second goal, I have a little bit of a short anecdote. So I'm at a birthday party earlier today. I went to like a classmate of one of my sons, and it's like a toddler party. So all the dads are talking and all the moms are talking. So I'm talking to this one guy. He's wearing a Guatemala kit. So he sees me playing soccer with JJ, my oldest, and he's like, "Oh, do you follow soccer?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I like Chelsea."
Did you tell him about the podcast?
I did, and I actually made him subscribe on the phone. So also, if you're not subscribed and haven't hit the like button, what are you doing? So anyway, we're there and we're talking, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we play like Columbus Crew tonight," and he's like, "Oh, the goalkeeper, he's from Guatemala," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like, is he good?" So he's talking him up, and I'm like, "Man, like we've been playing really bad, so maybe he'll have our number." So as I'm leaving the party, he's like, oh, like, you know, good luck in the game tonight. You know, I hope the goalkeeper represents this one. I'm like, I hope he doesn't. So that that was the last thing I said to him. And I apologize because I didn't get his name. But if you're listening, you know, thanks for tuning in. But listen, the Columbus goalkeeper,
Guatemala must suck.
the goalkeeper put up a stinker for the second one because Kremaski did a great job pressing him to force him to make a play, but he passes the ball directly to the worst possible person. He passes the ball directly to Messi, who's waiting at the top of the box, and Messi puts up a great shot right at the fingertips of the goalkeeper. He gets to it, but not enough, and the ball had plenty of enough English where the ball bounces in. So to my Guatemala friend from earlier, I'm sorry, but thank you also. But that was great. What an incredible shot, like, even still, because the goalkeeper was pretty far off his line. But for Messi to put just the right amount of touch, the right amount of force for the ball to still go in, it just incredible. And that from there it just snowballed.
Yeah.
Also, not just the right amount of touch and force, it's the fact that he capitalized immediately off of the misplay. Because it's one thing to get it, set yourself up, think about no. He put it down and put it in. Like, that was sometimes you see that way too often with this club where everybody just overthinks it and they really have to put 2 and 2 together to realize, okay, I need to shoot this ball. And Messi just, like, good things happen when you just play it organically. Like, that's how Segovia's game time goal the other day was scored. It was organically, just let it rip. You're not seeing that enough from this club, and I mean, if there's one person who we don't have to worry about that, it's Messi. But man, people need to learn from this. Like, there's so many good points to take away from this performance. They have to build upon it, and too often we haven't had that. So hopefully this is like a building block for something that we're going to see in the future.
Or hopefully in the very near future, Club World Cup.
Goodness,
it's like what, 2 weeks away?
Yeah,
2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. So then goal number 3, which I admittedly missed by like 20 seconds. It was bedtime. So I'm there putting the kids to bed. And I'm like, oh, like, okay, let me turn off the TV over there. Let me pull it up on my phone. So I pull up, as I'm pulling up Apple TV on my phone, the cover screen for the game shows up and it says 3-0. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I pull it up, I rewind, and I see a classic Scary Larry. The day that Jose is missing, but
explain to us what a Scary Larry is, Julio.
Well, everyone should know, but if you happen to be new to the Heron Heads podcast, Jose, who's also not here, so it's going to take a little bit of imagination. Another host who looks just like the rest of us. He called a chip shot a Scary Larry, and I don't remember the lore behind it, but he popularized the phrase, and now it's forever etched in Heron Heads lore
and vernacular.
That it is chip shots are Scary Larry. So I don't know if you guys can give me make it a little bit more colorful, the reenactment of the goal, but I basically only saw that it was a Scary Larry, and I was like, okay, cool, like, let me get through bedtime here.
No, it was another pass over the top. Messi was just wide open. He blew past the back line and Scary Larry to right over the goalkeeper. It was that simple, which is insane.
1-on-1.
Yeah. Very simple.
It was really easy looking.
but it's things that we haven't been seeing. We haven't been seeing those kind of passes being completed. You know, Suarez is always trailing every freaking play, and we just don't see that often. So it's nice to see Allende do it first, and now we saw Messi come through with it as well, and he made it look so easy, but
it's one of those like old Staples commercials with the easy button. That boom, that was easy. He even like looked after he scored. He looked immediately to his teammates like, that happened. Like, what are you gonna do about it?
If it was Suarez, he would have been offside or something.
And he would have kicked it to the moon.
Yeah. And the defense would have caught up to him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he would have slammed on the brakes, exactly. And that's
how about that? I was like, how about that one play that Messi? It was Messi, Suarez, and Allende. And Suarez was wide open. Like, he blew past the defenders, and he had a beautiful lane.
Great. I thought you were talking about the other one.
No, he blew by the defenders. He was wide open, and Messi decides not to pass it to Suarez. He passes it out to Allende.
He used Suarez as a decoy.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah,
Suarez was sprinting as hard as he could, and it's funny because it's one of those visuals where you can see the effort he's putting in, but he's not moving that fast. So then for him to
that's
put
how
the
I
effort,
used to run as a kid. My dad would always make fun of me. He'd put me in speed training, and he's like, "Yeah, you're from your waist up, it looks like you're hauling ass, and then you just look from your waist down, and you're not moving." And that's what I'm seeing now with Suarez making millions of dollars. It's really cool. I had a chance.
My favorite part about that whole sequence was that Suarez obviously knew Messi had the ball, so he couldn't complain afterwards. He actually didn't throw his hands up when he didn't get the ball in that sequence.
Speaking of throwing hands up, I didn't see him complain too often today either, which is, I mean, I guess it has to do with the score.
I saw him take the blame, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so
like, there was one that he did terrible. I forgot exactly what he did. That he did terrible, and he immediately just raised both hands, and he was like, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." I'm like, we need to see that more often.
I doubt it.
So another point from that Messi scary Larry is Busquets with the assist, right? So that's 2 straight games with a Busquets assist, and I think that's so important in how he usually assists these goals. It's usually a very creative looking pass, very often a ball over the top, whether it's straight over the top of the defense or a switch of play out wide. He is so good at picking out those longer passes that seeing those convert into goals is a very, very positive thing. He has an assist in each of the last 2 games, but before that, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It was 16 matches prior to those 2 since he had an assist. So getting him back involved in goal contributions is fantastic for this team, especially given that Jordi Alba's out, which, by the way, I guess we should touch on a little bit, is Alba was reported to be out for at least 2 weeks, which would put him at the earliest returning for the Club World Cup. I mean, obviously, that would be the earliest anyone could return from injury for this club because we have a break now. But the report is that he will miss or he will need at least 2 weeks to recover from that injury. So that's an important bit of information. But back to my point is basically Busquets getting involved with goal contributions is very necessary for this club to succeed.
Yep. Agreed.
Goal number 4.
So this was the goal that I hate but love.
The Suarez goal.
I hate but love. Yeah.
I didn't hate that Chelo cut it back to Messi. So this was a 4-person, like a 4-on-2 break. It was Chelo, Messi, Segovia, and Suarez. A quick counter, which I say quick very loosely there, but a counter nonetheless. Chelo gets the ball in the box from Messi, I believe, and then Chelo plays it back to Messi, but with the force of 1,000 suns. So Messi has a little bit of trouble getting the ball under control. Was able to poke it out to Segovia, who plays it across to Suarez, and then Suarez with a really nice near post finish, very tidy. Basically sent the goalkeeper the wrong way with his body, and then slotted it home near post. It ended up being a really nice goal from Suarez, but I thought they blew it when Chelo got the ball. I thought we blew it. Period. And then when he passed the ball, I thought we blew it again. Messi was able to control it and continue the play. And another Suarez goal.
Yeah. And it was a nice interplay because it started with Chelo. He gave it to Messi. Then Messi, you had to give it to Chelo at that point, as much as we don't want Chelo with the ball. But he was so open, making a proper run. You have to give it to him, so he gave it to him. But when I saw him pass it back to Messi, I thought, I understand we don't want Chelo shooting the ball, but I thought he had a good enough lane to make the shot. And when I saw that he didn't shoot, I immediately got extremely upset. And it changed the next 2 seconds because the interplay after that, the little tiki-taka between the other 3 was beautiful. Beautiful play there. And it was just, I wasn't happy with that pass, but it ended up being good. You know, Velasco got his assist. Nice pass to Suarez. Suarez solid back in the net for a 2nd game in a row, right? Am I right? Or 3rd? Did he score against Philadelphia? I don't remember. But yeah, momentum, man. I said it already. Momentum. It's important right now. This is the perfect time to catch some momentum and try to make some noise. Club broke up.
Sorry, I was just looking up. He scored 2 against Montreal.
I don't think he scored against Philadelphia.
He did not score
Yeah.
against Philadelphia, did not score against Orlando, and had a goal and assist against New York Red Bulls. So in his last 5 matches, he has 4 goals and 2 assists. So 6 goal contributions. I mean, I'm going to be honest, like outside of that goal, I didn't think he had a great match, but listen, I was at the forefront saying, if you're a striker, you got to score, and he's been scoring. So at the end of the day, I mean, that's what he's there for, and so long as he's doing that, I can't say anything too bad.
Yes, you can.
Nah, I could.
What are you talking about?
I could, but listen,
not
I mean,
today. Not today.
No, not today. Not today. And Suarez, listen, I mean, he scored on. Let me start over. Earlier in the season, he missed a lot of chances that looked like that and didn't even hit the target. So it's nice that he's now converting those into actual goals. At the bare minimum, getting these on target, but it's really good to see him getting into his scoring form. Of course, earlier today, I tweeted out that Inter Miami was just an average team, and then they go ahead and blow the doors off Columbus because
we like to be Columbus.
Not only did they score 4, but they scored a 5th.
Second time we beat Columbus, man. It's good stuff.
I'm not going to say Schulte would have made the difference for them if he was available. We blew the doors off of them, like I just said, but I don't know. We caught them at a good time. We just
looked in control. Besides the poor goalkeeper play, we just looked in control most of the match. I didn't see a time that I felt, except for after that first goal, because Miami loves to get a goal scored on them, and then all of a sudden it's kind of snowball into the next few. But I didn't really feel that Miami didn't have control at any point in the match. I thought they were solid. They didn't do anything too crazy, anything too dumb. Mascherano was okay. His subs were a little questionable once again. But I thought it was a fine game. We had control and we kept control the whole match, which is something we haven't seen.
That's a good did you know, Dave.
I know, I had to put it up there. Obito Uchiha says, I just checked. Messi does, in fact, have 99 outside the box goals, excluding free kicks. He just needs 1 more for 100, and he'll become the first in the history with this. In history, is that history of soccer in general, or
just of all mankind?
Of all mankind with this achievement. That's pretty good.
Pretty good,
Bob. Messi guy has a pretty bright future ahead of him, huh?
Yeah.
He's looking sharp. A good find from Inter Miami.
History of football.
I was gonna say something about this game, and then I totally forgot.
Maybe the 5th goal.
We'll jump into the 5th goal. Chris, there's another goal. I'm so sorry. Before we get to the next thing, Fafa gets subbed on. Suarez gets subbed off, which I was surprised at this point, but also happy with. So Suarez gets subbed off. Not that he needs the rest because he's about to get 2 weeks off, but good to know that Mascherano actually knows that he can do that. Granted, again, we were up 4 goals at that point. Fafa comes on, immediately adds the element of speed, which otherwise this squad doesn't really have with the players that they put out today. But Fafa comes on, and at that point, Columbus is sort of just throwing it all to see if they can get something going, some sort of momentum, even if it's just to take away from the match. And after one of their attacks, Messi gets the ball, and Fafa is already making the run into the attacking half. And before he gets anywhere close to the half midfield line, Messi just plays in a wonderful ball. And Fafa's by himself, 10 yards away from the nearest defender, caught them completely asleep. And a tidy finish near post again against the Guatemalan keeper. But nice to see Fafa get one. And it just shows you the incredible vision that Messi has. Like, as if you needed any more examples, just another incredible play by Messi.
And speed kills, man. It's something that this team does not have. And Fafa came out there. He just blew the top off on that one, and he made it happen. It's beautiful to see. That's what we need. I don't know if they're gonna make any. I doubted any additions in the next 2 weeks. But hopefully in the summer transfer window, we need some sort of speed somewhere to really continue to make those kind of plays. We can't consistently do that. We don't have the players to do it right now.
They said that depending on the game now, it starts in half an hour. If Club America loses somehow, I don't expect them to lose, but if Club America loses, I think that American winger has a good chance of being transferred quickly. I know that they've
Brian Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, Brian Rodriguez. They've been in talks with him already. So I think it's just a willingness of the club to make that transfer. Again, if they win, they're in the Club World Cup. They're not going to want to make that change yet. But if they are eliminated, that could be something for us to hang our hopes on.
Yeah.
To see a little addition. But again, how many times have we seen additions that we're excited for just not even be utilized? So like look at Obando. Obando finally got in at the 90th minute, and we got to play 2 whole minutes in this one. It's like what do you expect him to do in 2 minutes?
You saw who else got in the game today?
What can he show you in 2 minutes?
Sailor got into the match today.
Did he actually? Were we setting up to go live? That's awesome. At striker?
I don't know. He came out for an attacker. I don't know who, but
what did you guys think of? What did you guys think of the Ian Frey for Segovia substitution and putting Ian Frey at midfield while keeping Chelo out there?
Initially, I was like, "What are we doing?" But I think somebody mentioned it earlier. I kind of liked the result because it kind of, once you have Ian Frey there on the same side as Chelo, it really does force Chelo to stay back because you can't have both of them bombing.
It was
forward.
It was David.
Oh yeah, look at that! Boom. That's my alter ego. I don't have a good imagination to change my first name, but yeah, no. I mean, we're always happy to see Frey on the pitch, and I think recently his defense hasn't been as strong as we'd like to see. So putting him at midfield, you have a plus defender in the midfield, and you don't lose anything in the attack either. So we saw some really good ball movement from Frey, one really, really good run. That was nice to see. And maybe that's something that we see in the future because you want to put your best people out there, and we've been clamoring for Frey. And who knows? Maybe this is it's a win-win for us. We get to see Frey, and Mascherano gets to keep his boy Wegan in the game.
I like this better than Toto in that position.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Toto,
he has more of that attacking mind, for sure.
Yeah, and also Frey can play more on the wings, whereas Toto, he would kind of reminds me of oh my God, what's the guy that you built the rainbow of for Chelsea?
Chalobah.
Yeah, Trevor Chalobah.
That was such a weird way to phrase that. I built the rainbow of.
It's a center back who can play CDM.
Can you give some context, please?
No. So Julio collects sports cards, and he decided to build what they call a rainbow of certain player. So you get the same card of the same player, but in all the different parallels, all the different colors of that card. It's called the rainbow, and he put a good amount of money.
I'm like 3 away. 3 away.
Put a good amount of money into it, and then as soon as he got close to completing it, they just stopped using him. They were thinking about trading him and releasing. It's just been a travesty. But every time Chelo finds his way on the pitch, they seem to win. So I don't know what's going on there, Chelsea.
Chalobah, not Chelo.
I said Chelsea.
No, you said Chelo.
Chelo, and then you said Chelsea.
Who knows? There's no way of going back and seeing these things.
This is not recorded.
No. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, look at that. Mike V understands rainbows.
There you go.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
I have a rainbow for the Dolphins. He's no longer on the Dolphins.
So I remembered what I was gonna say or ask you guys earlier. When Columbus scores the goal to make it 3-1, what was your nervousness level at that moment and the following 2 minutes?
They were elevated, I will say, because it was pretty pressureless the whole match. But coming out of the half, you give up that goal, and then it looked like they were pressing again and kind of searching for that second goal. So there were a couple minutes there where you're like, okay, if they score this next goal, then it's a one goal match, and you don't know what's going to happen with the momentum. Thankfully, we were able to secure another goal after that, and after that, it was just sitting back,
Yeah.
eating Cheetos, no problem.
Yeah, it was short lived. When they scored that goal, like David said, they were really pressing a lot. They were trying to get the ball up, and they were in our attacking third for a while, and then it kind of just fizzled out again, and that was it. But I wasn't too worried. We had a 3-1 lead at that time, which is pretty significant at that point in the game. And then the next goal was scored, and all worries just went out the window. So it was fine. Never in doubt.
I like that, Jonathan Stromberg. It should have been PSG versus Inter Miami, not
That's
Inter
right.
Milan.
The wrong Inter was playing today, and man,
We just, I mean, that's what we get for not being in a European league. Yeah,
Europe.
if we would have been in Europe,
Things would have
completely
been
different
different.
story.
Things would have been
Completely different story.
So in loving memory of our dear friend Jose, should we do some most and least of the match?
Hell yes.
sure can.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
And now it's time for Jose's most and least of the match, presented by SofaScore.
We gotta rethink that. The chat box was really covering the QR code there.
Whatever. Listen, if you guys don't already use SofaScore, use SofaScore. Use the link in the description wherever you're listening, in lieu of the QR code that was covered by the chat overlay, which we're testing out, and it's already covering the handle of the social media. Whatever. If you're listening on audio, disregard the last 20 seconds.
At the Heron Heads.
Right.
Sorry.
I mean, in case you can't see it, you need to know.
All right. Wonderful. So, least of the match. What are we thinking?
Segovia. Because he didn't make it to the match.
David Martinez, because he had the yellow.
He did have a yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you are wrong.
Oh wow.
The
So
least
you
of
have to
the
say
match.
that more emphatically if you're going to be Jose here. Come on.
No, it has to be almost like
It's
you
very
guys are wrong.
dismissive.
You guys are wrong. You guys are wrong. The actual least of the match was Ustadi, your boy.
How is he least? He didn't allow a goal.
with a 6.6. Didn't finish the match. -7.
God. Well, it's not fair.
6.6 for Ustadi. And then Cello and Alan got a 6.7.
Not fair. He's not here to defend himself.
Cello and Alan with the 6.7. Most of the match.
Probably that Messi guy.
I mean-
I've been looking at the comments and I keep seeing that he's got a 10 out of 10 and stuff like that. So I would have to say,
I think Messi got a pretty good match. I would say, right? Yeah.
Messi had a perfect 10.
Yep.
Who's the next best?
Allende.
I was gonna say Allende, or I'll have to say Allende. I refuse to say it was Suarez.
Yeah, Allende with an 8.1. Next would be Busquets with a 7.5, Segovia with 7.3, and then Suarez 7.2.
That's
Martinez and Falcon both finished with a 7.1, by the way.
What was Segovia? Sorry,
7.3.
What was Rocco's rating?
6.5, less than Ustadi.
Okay, better have
by
been,
0.1.
But that's unreal. Honest, I mean, Ustadi really didn't do anything, but
Let me
He
see if
also
there's
didn't
any
allow a goal.
underlying statistics here. I mean,
that's
I guess passing.
didn't do anything. No, because he was 12 of 14 on passing. Again, goes to show you that these ratings are a little not always the best representation of what happened in the game. Did he have any saves?
I don't know if they
I don't
even
think
shot
so.
it. I know he got
He
like
had
some
0
backwards
saves,
passes.
0
Yeah.
punches, 0 claims.
That's probably why.
You know what?
He just didn't have
Rocco-
any action.
Rocco had that one punch that was completely unnecessary. I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, but that Suarez rating is telling because he scored a goal and he still didn't have a great match, and it all kind of makes sense. Julio, you said it earlier. He just didn't really have a good match.
He scored.
and He scored, which is
That's
good.
it.
That's what we need him to do. But he's not really doing much.
I don't understand the Rocco love here.
His passes were not awesome, let me tell you.
Horrible, Horrible.
They were all about
You'll-
3 yards too high.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, that was Jose's most and least of the match, brought to you by SofaScore. Download SofaScore. Use the link in the description. What are you guys going to do for the next 2 weeks? Go on a little vacation,
A little
Go
bit
on a
of this,
cruise.
little
a
cruise.
little bit of that.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
we should probably have like a Club World Cup preview next week or something like that.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
should.
Comment below. Let us know if you'd be interested in a Club World Cup preview. This game was awesome. I mean, as you can tell by our good mood, we haven't been in such a good mood during a post game show in years. It feels like. So yeah, this was fun. We should do it more often.
Yeah,
That's
we should do this 5-goal business
Every time.
way more often. Yeah,
That's Chidano, if you're listening. You know what to do.
Score more goals.
Do more of this.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's about it.
and yeah, that's about it. So, thank you. Correct. Panthers start Stanley Cup. Should we do a crossover show? Stanley Cup Finals on Wednesday.
I'm
I don't
sure all
know.
of our viewers would love that.
Maybe we'll do that on the 786 channel. Maybe they'll want us to do that.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you to everyone who tuned in to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe buttons yet, what are you doing? Hit those buttons, please. They're free and help us out a ton. Join our Discord. Our Discord's been super fun. I know we've been saying it a lot. Sorry, that threw me off. We've been saying that the Discord has been a lot of fun, and it has. That's not an over-exaggeration. It's been very lively lately. So join the Discord. Link in the description as well. There's a bunch of other links in there. You can check those out if you're interested. But yeah, 5-1 Inter Miami with a eruption against Columbus. So very fun match. And next match for Inter Miami, or next up, is the Club World Cup. We've arrived. So we will do some form of preview. I'm sorry?
Who's first up?
Ali.
Al Ali.
All right, gotta start stretching out.
You got to start doing your research, right, David?
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, thanks for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami, powered by 786 Sports, and we will catch you on the next one.